Brittany from Highlands again. I have a couple more poems I want to share with you from Where the Sidewalk Ends by Shel Silverstein. I'm going to read them to you with permission from HarperCollins Publishing. Alright. Boa constrictor. Oh, I'm being eaten by a boa constrictor. A boa constrictor, a boa constrictor. I'm being eaten by a boa constrictor, and I don't like it one bit. Well, what do you know? It's nibbling at my toe. Oh gee, it's up to my knee. Oh my, it's up to my thigh. Oh fiddle, it's up to my niddle. Oh heck, it's up to my neck. Oh dread, it's... Hector the collector. Hector the collector collected bits of string, collected dolls with broken heads, rusty bells that would not ring, pieces of picture puzzles, bent up nails and ice cream sticks, twists of wire, worn out tires, paper bags and broken bricks, old ship vases, half shoelaces, Gatling guns that wouldn't shoot, leaky boats that wouldn't float, and stopped up horns that wouldn't toot, butter knives and that had no handles, copper keys that fit no locks, rings that were too small for fingers, dried up leaves and patched up socks, worn out belts that had no buckles, electric trains that had no tracks, airplane models, broken bottles, three-legged chairs with cups and cracks. Hector the collector loved these things with all his soul, loved them more than a shining diamonds, loved them more than glistening gold. Hector called to all the people, come and share my treasure trunk. And all the silly, sightless people came and looked and called it junk. Sick. I cannot go to school today, said little Peggy Ann McKay. I have the measles and the mumps, a gash, a rash, and purple bumps. My mouth is wet and my throat is dry. I'm going blind in my right eye. My tonsils are as big as rocks. I've counted 16 chicken pox. And there's one more that's 17. And don't you think my face looks green? My leg is cut and my eyes are blue. It might be instamatic flu. I cough and sneeze and gasp and choke. I'm sure my left leg is broke. My hip hurts when I move my chin. My belly button's caving in. My back is wrenched, my ankle's sprained, my appendix pains each time it rains. My nose is cold, my toes are numb, I have a sliver in my thumb. My neck is stiff, my voice is weak, I hardly whisper when I speak. My tongue is filling up my mouth, I think my hair is falling out. My elbows bent, my spine ain't straight, my temperature's 108. My brain is shrunk, I cannot hear, there's a hole inside my ear. I have a hangnail and my heart is... What? What's that you say? You say today is Saturday? Goodbye. I'm going out to play. Oh, Peggy Ann McKay. Where the sidewalk ends. There's a place where the sidewalk ends, and before the street begins, there's the grass that grows soft and white, and there the sun burns crimson bright, and there the moonbird rests from his flight to cool in the peppermint wind. Let us leave this place where the smoke blows back black and the dark street winds and bends past the pits where the asphalt flowers grow, and shall walk with a walk that is measured and slow, and watch where the chalk white arrows go, and to the place where the sidewalk ends. Yes, we'll walk with a walk that is measured and slow, and we'll go where the chalk white arrows go, for the children they mark and the children they know, the place where the sidewalk ends. Snowman. 'Twas the first day of springtime and the snowman stood alone, as the winter snows were melting and the pine trees seemed to groan. Ah, you poor sad snowman, you'll be melting by and by, said the snowman. What a pity, for I'd like to see July. Yes, I'd like to see July, and please don't ask me why, but I'd like to. Yes, I'd like to. Oh, I'd like to see July. Chirped a robin just arriving. Seasons come and seasons go, and the greatest ice must crumble when the flowers time to grow. And as one thing is the beginning, and so another thing must die. And there's never been a snowman who's ever seen July. No, they never see July, no matter how hard they try. No, they ever, never, ever, never see July. But the snowman sniffed his carrot nose and said, at least I'll try. And he bravely smiled his frosty smile and blinked his coal-black eye. And there he stood and faced the sun, a-blazing from the sky. And I really cannot tell you if he ever saw July. Did he ever see July? You can guess as well as I if he ever saw July. I don't know if I want to see some snowmen in July. I know the snowmen might want to see July, but I don't know if I would want to. Sarah, Cynthia, Sylvia Stout would not take the garbage out. Sarah, Cynthia, Sylvia Stout would not take the garbage out. She'd scour the pans and scrape the pans, candy the yams and spice the hams. And though her daddy would scream and shout, she simply would not take the garbage out. And so it piled up to the ceilings, coffee grounds, potato peelings, brown bananas, rotten peas, chunks of sour cottage cheese. It filled the can, it covered the floor, it cracked the window, blocked the door. And with bacon rinds and chicken bones, drippy ends of ice cream cones, prune pits, peach pits, orange peel, globby glumps of cold oatmeal, pizza crust and withered greens, soggy beans and tangerines, crusts of blackburn, buttered toast, gristly bits of beefy roasts. The garbage rolled down the hall, it raised the roof, it broke the wall, greasy napkin, cookie crumbs, globs of gooey bubble gum, cellophane from green bologna, rubbery blubbery macaroni, peanut butter caked and dry, curdled milk and crust of pie, moldy melons, dried up mustard, eggshells mixed with lemon custard, cold french fries and rancid meat, yellow lumps of cream of wheat. At last the garbage reached so high that it finally touched the sky. And all the neighbors moved away and none of her friends would come up to play. And finally Sarah, Cynthia Stout said, "Okay, I'll take the garbage out." But then, of course, it was too late. The garbage reached across the state, from New York to the Golden Gate, and there in the garbage she did hate. Poor Sarah met an awful fate that I cannot right now relate, because the hour is much too late. But remember, children, remember Sarah Stout, and always take the garbage out. The Unicorn. A long time ago, when the earth was green, there was more kinds of animals than you'd ever seen, and they'd run around free while the world was being born, and the loveliest of all was the unicorn. There was green alligators and long-necked geese. There were humpy-bumpy camels and chimpanzees. There were cats and rats and elephants, but as sure as you were born, the loveliest of all was the unicorn. But the Lord had seen some sinning, and it had caused him pain. He said, "Stand back, I'm gonna make it rain." He said, "Hey, brother Noah, I'll tell you what you do. Go and build me a floating zoo. And you take 2 alligators and a couple of geese, 2 humpy-bumpy camels, 2 chimpanzees. Take 2 cats and rats and elephants, but sure as you're born, Noah, don't you forget my unicorn." Now Noah was there, and he'd answered calling, and he'd finish up the ark just as the rain started falling. He marched in the animals 2 by 2, and he called out as they went through, "Hey Lord, I got your 2 alligators and your couple of geese, your humpy-bumpy camels and your 2 chimpanzees. Got your cats and rats and elephants, but Lord, I'm so forlorn, because I just don't see no unicorn." Old Noah looked out through the driving rain, but the unicorn were hiding and playing silly games. They were kicking and splashing in the misty morn. Oh, them silly unicorn. And the goat started goatin', and the snake started snaking, and the elephant started elephantin', and the boat started shaking. The mouse started squeaking, and the lion started roaring, and everyone's aboard but the unicorn. I mean, the green alligators, the long-necked geese, the humpy-bumpy camels, and the chimpanzees. Noah cried, "Close the door, 'cause the rain's pouring, and we just can't wait for them unicorn." The ark started moving, and it drifted the tide, and the unicorns looked up from the rock and cried, and the water came up and sort of floated them away. That's why you've never seen a unicorn to this day. You'll see lots of alligators and a whole mess of geese. You'll see humpy-bumpy camels and lots of chimpanzees. You'll see cats and rats and elephants, but as sure as you're born, you're never gonna see no unicorn. Band-Aids. I have a Band-Aid on my finger, 1 on my knee and 1 on my nose, 1 on my heel and 2 on my shoulder. 3 on my elbow and 9 on my toes, 2 on my wrist and 1 on my ankle, 1 on my chin and 1 on my thigh, 4 on my belly and 5 on my bottom, 1 on my forehead and 1 on my eye and 1 on my neck in case I might need them. I have a box full of 35 more, but oh, I do think it's sort of a pity I don't have a cut or a sore. Hungry Mungry. Hungry Mungry sat at the table, took his knife, spoon, and fork, ate a bowl of mushroom soup, ate a slice of roasted pork, ate a dozen stewed tomatoes, 27 deviled eggs, 15 shrimp, 9 baked potatoes, 32 fried chicken legs, a shank of lamb, a boiled ham, 2 bowls of grits and some black-eyed peas, 4 chocolate shakes, 8 angel cakes, 9 mustard pies with Munster cheese, 10 pots of tea, and after he had eaten all that he was able, he poured some broth on the tablecloth and ate the kitchen table. His parents said, "Oh, Hungry Mungry, stop these silly jokes." Mungry opened his mouth and said, "Gulp!" He ate his folks. And then he went and he ate his house, all the bricks and wood, and he ate all the people in the neighborhood. Up came 27 angry police shouting, "Stop and cease!" Mungry opened his mouth and gulp, he ate the police. Soldiers came with tanks and guns, said Mungry, "They can't harm me." He just smiled and licked his lips and ate the U.S. Army. The president sent all the bombers. Mungry was still calm and put his head back, gulped the planes, and gobbled up the bomb. He ate the town and ate the city, ate and ate and ate. And then he said, "I think I'll eat the whole United States." And so he ate Chicago first and munched the water tower, and then he chewed on Pittsburgh, but he found it rather sour. He ate New York and Tennessee and all of Boston town. Then he drank the Mississippi River just to wash it down. And when he'd eaten every state, each puppy, boy, and girl, he wiped his mouth upon his sleeve and went to eat the world. He ate the Egypt pyramids, every church in Rome, and all the grass in Africa, and all the ice in Nome. He ate each hill in green Brazil, and then to make things worse, he decided for dessert he'd eat the universe. He started with the moon and the stars, and soon he was done. He gulped the clouds, and he sipped the wind, and gobbled the sun. And then sitting there in the cold, dark air, he started to nibble his feet, and then his legs, and then his hips, and then his neck, and then his lips, till he sat there just a gnashing his teeth, 'cause nothing was, nothing was. Nothing was, nothing was. Nothing was left to eat. Thank you guys for joining me today. I hope you have a great day. We'll see you later.